child came into the world like a curse. March 1933. 6 weeks premature, barely breathing. Donald Henry Gaskins. Nobody celebrated. He wasn't wrapped in blankets or kissed on the forehead. He was tossed into life like trash into the ditch. Just another unwanted mouth in a shack that already had too many. They didn't call him Donald, not with pride. They called him Junior, like an afterthought. A placeholder for a boy nobody planned to keep. His mother, Eula, treated him like a stain that wouldn't wash out. His father, just a name she couldn't remember or wouldn't say. Gaskins learned early that crying got you hit, and hunger got you nothing. He grew up barefoot, bug-bitten and mean, running wild through the pines like a stray dog, sleeping under porches, stealing scraps, and staring at the world with eyes that didn't blink. There was no warmth, no bedtime stories, no chance. By the time he'd learned to talk, he'd already figured something out. In this world, you're either the one getting hurt or the one doing the hurting. And Junior Gaskins, he chose early. He would never be the victim again. By the age of 5, Junior had tasted every kind of neglect a child could know. He was beaten, mocked, starved, and forgotten. But he didn't cry. Not anymore. Somewhere in the long hours of hunger and hiding, something in Junior twisted into something hard. Not tough, cruel. He began to hurt animals, not out of anger, out of curiosity. He wanted to know what pain looked like when it stopped fighting. By age 11, Junior had dropped out of school and joined a gang of other outcast boys. They robbed farms, stole cars, beat up drunks outside bars, and sometimes, when they were feeling extra brave, they assaulted women working the fields. For Junior, it wasn't about money, it was about control, and it was the first time he felt respected. The trouble was, Donald Gaskins wasn't big. He was only 5'4" when full grown, with a skinny frame and darting eyes. People laughed at him, underestimated him, and he hated them for it. He learned to get respect not through his fists, but through fear. When he was 15, he hit another boy in the head with a hatchet during a robbery gone wrong. The boy lived barely. Junior was sentenced to reform school, and that's where he learned what true hell looked like. In those cement barracks, surrounded by older, stronger boys, Junior was no longer the predator. He was prey. He was beaten, humiliated, sexually assaulted. And he made a vow right there, laying in his own blood on the reformatory floor. I will never be a victim again. When he was released at 17, something about him had changed. He smiled more, but never with his eyes. He got a job, got married, but it never lasted. He was in and out of jail, mostly for theft and fraud. But inside those prison walls, he began building something more terrifying than anyone could guess. He started dreaming of his coastal kills, secret murders along the Carolina highways, victims no one would notice, crimes without consequence, the perfect crime over and over. In 1955, Gaskins murdered a young girl named Silas Yates in an insurance scam and buried her in a shallow grave. It was sloppy, panicked, desperate, but something about it awakened him. He had taken a life, and no one stopped him. The newspapers never even mentioned it. When he was finally caught, on a separate charge, he was sent to the Central Correctional Institution.